Hello and welcome to another edition of After the Whistle, Wednesday, October 18th. It's like the month just flies by and we're like halfway through this. I'm here, Todd's here, Stevie's here.
How y'all doing today?
Yeah, another packed show. Another packed show. It's like getting full into all this. I think all the sports is playing at this point right now. I think everybody except, well, NBA got preseason, but
yeah, but everybody's in.
Everybody is in. We got hockey, we got WNBA, even we got soccer friendlies happening in the world. It ain't friendly with the Pats though. I mean, we've been saying it the past couple weeks. They're just not good. They're trash.
Yeah,
they're trash.
That's why we're a little somber.
I ain't even somber because I expected a bad season, but I thought they'd have at least 2 wins at this point in the season.
That's exactly what I mean.
Jeez Louise. Help your quarterback out, Devontae Parker.
No, I knew they was gonna suck. I know when we make our predictions, we don't bet against them, but they're trash.
Yeah. Awful
play calling. They can't even call the right running plays. If they get rolling on the ground, they want to force Mac to do something with them. It's just a mess over there. Coaching staff, who knows what they're doing.
You know, we already said about the coaching staff. But in this game, Devontae Parker, man, you need to help your quarterback out. That was, as much as we get on Mac Jones for some of the stuff he does, he threw a perfect pass to Devontae Parker, and he just drops it, and then he act like he wouldn't want to take ownership to it. He wouldn't act like it wasn't his fault.
It was definitely
at the post game. Like, come on, man.
You either got balls or you don't. Yeah. So that's what separates people. You can own up to your mistakes. That means you got balls to me, because it takes balls to do that. If you can't, then you're just a cat like the rest of people.
That just shows like what's going on over there, and that's not even the Patriot way.
But that's like a new generational cultural thing. Yeah. The whole they love getting praised, but they hate when they got to feel that heat. They'll take any little way, and then a day or two later, I apologize, I should have owned up to my mistakes. It's like, man, grow up.
And I think a lot of that's going on because Bill's an old school type of guy. So, and that's probably, and it's translating on the field. They're just not connecting. I think it's the new school, like you said, trying to connect with the old school, and it's just not happening.
Yeah, and then you got that, and then right after, like, as a quarterback, you are not supposed, the worst thing to do is take a sack at that time of the game.
That's not the first time.
You don't take a sack.
That's not the first time.
Don't take the sack. Find a way to get rid of the ball so it won't be intentional grounding. Just get rid of the ball. Don't take the sack, especially when you need this drive to try and win the game or tie it. But oh my gosh, I just put my head. I wasn't even surprised. I'm just like, yeah, that's typical right there. He
just don't need to drop back. If he does drop back, he just needs to hand it off. They got 2 running backs.
He just don't need to play.
I agree.
Yeah, we're at the point.
I'm at that point. I agree with you.
I'll be honest. I feel like we're wasting. I know we have to fit, spots and segments and all, but we're wasting time and our breath talking about this. I got things to do after this.
Patriots.
Let's move on, man. They trash. Like, I'm sorry. Like, what you want me to do? Like, they ain't putting quality product out there. We're not gonna try to find ways to make it seem like they're decent. They suck.
Yeah. And honestly, there's no help on the way.
The only help is tanking for Caleb, but
that's it.
Even he ain't look good against Notre Dame. But anyways, Cleveland handed San Francisco their first loss. You don't look at this game and be like, how did they lose this game? Well, the kicker had one job. They got you down the field. They got you in a good range that you normally.
It was within 52, right?
I think it was like a 40-yard field goal or something 41. Like that. Yeah, somewhere like that. A field goal that the dude has been making all season, and this is what you get paid for. You don't do nothing else during the game. This is what they pay you for, to make game-winning field goals, and then he just doesn't make it. Kickers.
I mean, he's probably just used to 49ers whooping on people. Granted, they had Debo and McCaffrey out for injuries, so when I saw this, I'm like, okay. Yeah, the Browns got them a win, but, like, there ain't nothing to really brag about personally. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I just felt like, the injuries played a role, definitely, in that loss. And Cleveland's defense, though, is, because it's not like, they're not bad at all. It's not like,
But you see Cleveland's offense?
terrible.
So my point is, like, nothing to brag about. We glad y'all came out with it, but like I wouldn't be beating on my chest after this win. I'd just be happy we got out with a win.
For sure not. But San Francisco, I think going forward, they're still the team to beat, even though they lost this game to Cleveland.
You looking at the NFC. This is only the NFC only literally has 3 good teams right now.
But let's be real, 3/4 of their offense was out.
Yeah.
And they
You
still
really only had 3 names on offense, them 2 and Kittle. So like,
and they still almost won.
That's why I'm like, man.
And they still and they still almost won. It just shows you how their defense was playing well. So I don't even know how Cleveland scored. Cleveland got nothing but field goals. So.
No, that's why I say, see the offense. Walker threw for 18 for 34, 192 yards and 2 in toes.
My bad. Kareem Hunt had a touchdown run.
Yes, he did.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the quarterback, just like,
That's what
he was
happened.
trying to throw the game away.
Well, Jalen Hurts threw the game away on Sunday. Jets coach made a really good point. He said they faced some really really good quarterbacks, and they've made them all look silly, like Mahomes, Hurts, Allen.
Yeah.
All of them. They've had multi-turnover games against the Jets defense. So which goes back to Jets got a great defense.
Really great defense.
And then that other side of the ball, it's like a liability. But I'm glad they're giving Breece Hall the ball a little bit more now.
Yeah, they're running. They have to. They figured out the formula. Play defense and run the ball. That's old school formula.
That was their formula last year too.
Yeah, but I think their defense is a little better this year.
Yeah.
Playing together. Because it's basically some of the same pieces. They picked up some guys, but now they're playing together.
And they had, I think their secondary was all out. Most of their starting secondary was out. So you would think that would be advantage Eagles receivers. A.J. Brown had a $131, but no touchdowns. So
He's good for $1 every game.
The Jets need to go hit the QB catalog and go shop for a quarterback. Granted, Wilson,
Patriots in line first.
I'm not mad at how he played because he didn't throw any end toes, but you ain't throw any touchdowns, my man. And that's multiple games that you haven't
Seen the end zone.
And they was excited when he threw that little pass to Wilson in the first week. But what's been going on the rest of the week? So you got to do something, my man. Granted, Hurts threw, like you said, threw the game away. But the way they was looking through week to week, they was
bound to lose.
Yeah, they weren't looking as good at shop, and you just knew they were bound to lose.
Well, all the other quarterback options they got on their roster, I'm looking at somebody named Tim Boyle and Trevor Siemian.
Trevor, I know that name.
Yeah, we know Trevor Siemian.
Tim Boyle's like the dude that works at the factory down the street.
Yeah, I know that. Smoking Pennyworth or
That got an arm. Sorry, I don't know who that guy is. Sorry, Tim.
Hey, but I mean, just to be happy, they're 3-3 right now through 6 games. They still got a chance. They just, I mean, they got to figure out they need better quarterback play because at some point you're gonna have to throw the ball to win a game. So
What? They're a game behind in the conference.
yeah,
Just one game behind Miami.
and they already beat Buffalo, so they can use these wins. Speaking of Buffalo, did you watch the ending of this game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that not pass interference? The way the dude was holding the tight end?
Here's why I believe they didn't call it, because they called one previous, 2 plays before that. I don't think they wanted to call another one.
It's the Giants.
Yeah, it's the Giants. That's what I mean.
No, please.
But still, when somebody's like blatantly, and you're the ref right there just looking at it.
He wanted to go home. He was tired of seeing that mess.
It is the Giants.
I was like, man,
Get out of here.
but I say that to say they might need to keep this guy on the bench though.
Yeah, Jones.
Yeah, they might need to-
Tyrod doing his thing.
I mean, Tyrod been around for a
Everywhere
while.
he go, he do his thing. To be honest.
You got to put anybody else but Daniel Jones in there. And I don't understand why it took him so long. Because I'm like, Tyrod's solid. Yeah, he might not throw you no touchdowns, but no windows either in 200 yards. I'll take that.
You know what's so funny? On the fantasy football thing, he was ready to play last week, and they was like, they didn't put him in.
And the Giants ain't do themselves any favor. They got to the red zone, the goal line a couple times. I think before the half, they don't give the ball.
Management.
They don't
Poor
give the ball to Saquon, and then at the end, I get the ball to Saquon. Give the ball to Saquon.
Yeah, throw it.
They barely gave him the ball in this first half compared to the second half, and he was rolling. But also, you got to have better schemes and ways to get him open and things.
To the Giants' defense, they have a lot of guys out on offense. Their offensive line. So.
Yeah, but still, give the ball to Saquon. That dude is a super athletic
playing
guy.
for free.
Right.
Nope.
So they getting paid too. You better go out there and get their check worth.
That's what they're paying for, right? They pay him to play.
I'm just saying. They got
It's true. No, it's a fact.
And I'm in that mindset. You at the 1 yard line.
They're men.
Give your running back the ball.
But no,
This is what he gets paid for.
But no professional team should be going 0-6 in the red zone.
At all. Yeah. At all.
Yes, 0-6 in the red zone.
Not even a field goal.
Not even a field goal. That's what they should have kicked the field goal before the half.
Before the half.
And all you would have had to do was kick the field goal and win the game.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
That coach is on the hot seat.
Yeah, he's on the hot seat. For one, for having so much confidence in Daniel Jones for so long, and two, fumble the game. That's not Tyrod's
I knew I was going to wake him up with that one.
Tyrod hasn't been in that position that long.
Yeah.
He's probably still adjusting to being the starting quarterback. You know what I mean? He might have just had a lapse. You're the coach. You there every game. Get mad at Daniel Jones, having all this confidence.
And you ain't have a timeout either. So like before the half, so I did just throw it out of bounds to let the field goal
Does that coach play anywhere?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I wasn't sure if he used to be in shape.
Right, because he
Maybe.
I know he used to coach for the Patriots. He was the Patriots coach.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you got my energy going. I just don't like talking about football personally. It annoys me sometimes.
Well, you got basketball. It's coming. Basketball's coming.
Yeah. But even the NBA is kind of suspect nowadays. Who's out there supporting them and all that.
Well, the weirdest team in the NFL is the San Diego Chargers. They've never played a normal game that I've watched ever.
LA? The LA Chargers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call them San Diego Chargers.
I do that too, but it's the LA
that was
Chargers.
damn near a road game for them because it was all Dallas fans in the building. They're San Diego Chargers.
And they brought that San Diego BS over there too. I don't know what was going on the other night.
It's like, what you always say about Brady when he has that random brain fart
Yeah,
game?
the brain fart, but Brady usually has in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He lose because of it.
These dudes have it all the time.
They're so inconsistent, though. That's their thing. They're so inconsistent. But they had, like you said, all the talent in the world. All the talent.
And the biggest criticism from them is their coaching and some of the play calling. And it was on full display on Monday night.
But
a couple times in the red zone.
Yeah, but the team across for them, you don't know what they're gonna bring to you either. You don't know if that shine, you don't know if that style gonna be dusty or shiny.
Yeah,
that's you know what I mean?
That's true.
It's gonna be shimmering or blown out.
Because I don't even think they look that good either.
No.
Who, Dallas?
Yeah.
No,
they didn't look good.
They did. Their quarterback looked a lot. Well, you look a lot better after you got beaten 42-10.
Yeah, true.
So. Anything from that is a positive.
As long as you win the game, that's all that matters. But the defense is the reason why they won the game. Because for one, the way they sealed the deal at the end of the game, Parsons finally getting the sack.
Yeah, he looked good.
And then what's his name getting the intel? Gilmore?
Yeah, Gilmore got one, and then there was another dude that got one.
Yeah.
Well, at the goal line, that got one. But yeah, that lasted. That was Herbert. That's such a bad throw.
No, that was a bad throw.
That was just such a bad throw. Sometimes
he's not as good as they think either.
You think he's having a down year?
It seems like it.
I think he might just be having a down year. Every quarterback, if you look at their careers, they always have a year or two where it's like, what's up with this dude? And then they just go back to being.
All right, I hope so. But from what it looks like, it's going downhill from here for that guy.
And you look at his numbers, they're not bad. The numbers not bad. It's just like, I'm not doing anything for winning.
He's just making the mistakes at the wrong time. And he's been in the league too long for that, if you ask me. What's he, third, fourth year?
It's like his third year.
Third. Come on, man. You already.
Yeah, it happens though.
San Diego.
Yeah.
San Diego for you.
Once again, too, remember, that I tell people, you live in the West Coast, that ain't reality.
Yeah.
That heat you get you lackadaisical. You don't really take things as serious as us down here when it's cold, and you know you gotta go outside in the cold and take that L. I'd rather take a W and go home in the cold. I'm a little warmer when I leave. You know what I mean? Like it's different. Like,
and they playing in a dome.
oh, that's definitely not reality.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised they haven't fired that coach yet. That dude should have been fired.
Yeah, gone. He should have never even got hired.
Yeah.
Let's go back. Let's go back.
It seems like they might be trying to like stop the old trend of trying to keep these coaches through thick and thin, because they ain't been dropping coaches off like they have been. It seems like.
Yeah.
Back in the day, he would have been gone.
Shoot.
3 years ago, he would have been gone.
He would have been gone right after that game when he wanted to go for it on 4th
That's
and
what
1.
I said.
And,
What was that, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got him
Last
up
week,
out
he
of
was
there.
out of there.
Lastly, our favorite team, the Detroit Lions.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, that is our favorite team.
It is.
5-1 with the best head coach in football.
Listen to me. This is a shout out to Linwood Moore. Okay, you gotta know Linwood, right?
Yeah.
Linwood. He told me he was gonna put in a bet on Detroit to win the Super Bowl. He goes, Stevie, I'm telling you, do it. They probably gonna win it. And the odds, he gonna walk away with some bread if they win. So shout out to you, Linwood. That was he was on point.
You know, I mean, they're on a roll right now.
Definitely,
you know what I mean?
four game streak. Yeah.
Now you good. I didn't know if that was a table either.
Yeah, and I just like him. Honestly, I just like him because they're coach. That dude, he just
He's Campbell's good.
Just like
He's good.
he be talking the talk and he be backing it up. He got a plug.
They look like they together, the whole team at all times. At all times.
He looks like he takes hits with the team during drills.
That's what I'm saying.
Like I could see him, you know what I mean, doing certain drills with the guys to make it like him reminiscing about his playing days, because like, he still might be go out there and do some things. We just see the camaraderie is different.
Too.
When you play for a guy that actually played places and can like show you, demonstrate it, will vouch for you, will say some wild stuff just to see, you know what I mean, how you guys, you know what I mean, how you react to it and stuff, like the whole line thing. Yeah, like it's entertainment. He's just a cool guy to be around. You can see he probably keeps it light, but when it's time to work,
Time to work. Right.
And remember when you were saying that Jared Goff, he just getting out of California.
Told you, bro.
Yeah, like he's right now. He's number 5. He's number 5 in the league in passing. 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Yo, I'm telling you, it's just different when you play in the cold. It's just different. Then you got to deal with people who got to deal with the cold, and you lose it, and they losing money on you. And he out there in Detroit, like, nah, I ain't play that.
And he's like, right now, he's having a career year right now.
MVP conversation? I would think so.
I mean, MVP.
5-1.
No, def.
MVP, like I'm looking at his numbers. All right, 1,600 over 1,600 yards passing, 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, QBR 73.3. If he was another quarterback that's more popular, then he'd be
and
headlines
he's dealing
everywhere.
with injuries.
Yeah.
He's dealing with injuries. He just got the young wide receiver back, the Williamson kid. And then his running back, Montgomery, just went out.
Yeah.
I mean, and what's his name? Dibbs? Dibbs,
yeah,
right?
yeah, he went
Dibbs is out.
Yeah, the rookie.
I just think they don't really. I just think, you know, the league's kind of shocked on how well they're doing, and they want to see how well they finish out the season before they start really giving Goff that praise. Because you know how some teams start hot, and then they have a drop off at the back end. So, and it's the first time they've been good in a long time. So it's like people just really want to see what they're gonna do towards the playoff run for other teams and stuff. So.
Yeah, he's having a good year. So shout out to the Lions. They needed some bright spot. That football team, they needed something positive because they haven't had it in a long time.
Bro, the only thing I think about when I hear about the Lions is playoffs. Playoffs? You can't win a game.
Oh man. Here you go. Oh man, let's go to No Huddle with Craig. He's gonna tell y'all who to start him and sit him. Oh yeah, Craig, let me know there won't be a No Huddle next week because he'll be on a cruise, so he won't be doing No Huddle next week. So yeah, just
Where's
for your
Craig
fantasy.
going?
He going on a cruise. That's what he said.
Be careful, brother. I was watching something, boat flipped over.
Cruises.
You watching what?
I was watching something on YouTube, the boat flipped over.
Oh, the whole, like a cruise ship or a boat?
A cruise ship.
Oh.
Yeah, No Huddle. We'll be back.
No lie.
What up, everybody? Welcome to No Huddle here on After the Whistle. It's your boy Craig, and I'm here to give you my sleepers this week. You know, we're almost halfway through the season now. So the guys, the main guys you got to start week in and week out. So I'm going to give you some sleepers. All right, so we got the Bears game. Excuse me, not the Bears. We got the Browns game going up against the Colts, and I got 2 sleepers in this game. First off, I'm going with Jerome Ford. A lot of people are liking Kareem Hunt because he scored a touchdown last week. But Jerome Ford had the more explosive touches and actually had more touches in the game. So, therefore, I'm going with Jerome Ford. In that same game, I'm going with Josh Downs, slot receiver. The Cleveland Browns have the best defense in the NFL. It's just a fact. And Myles Garrett is going to be coming after Gardner Minshew quick, fast, and in a hurry, which means he needs to get the ball out fast. And he's either going to be dumping off to a running back or to his slot receivers. Josh Downs being one of his favorite receivers, and I believe that he is going to receive a lot of that work. He might not score a touchdown, but I believe he's going to get a lot of receptions. And in PPR, that's everything. Next, you have the Raiders going up against the Bears. And so, first things first, let me just say, I am liking Michael Mayer. He had a pretty decent showing this past week. He was ranked as the #1 tight end going into the draft. Did other tight ends go ahead of him? Yes, they did. Luke Musgrave and Sam Laporta. But he was the most highly touted tight end out of that. And I believe in this game, he is going to be a security blanket for whichever quarterback steps in. With that being said, my next sleeper pick might blow your mind a little bit. Bears defense. If you saw how much the Vikings struggled against the Bears last week, I think that says a lot about how the Bears defense is playing. Yeah, they lost that game, but they didn't. They only allowed 1 touchdown. They believe 1 touchdown. Not a lot of yards. Not a lot of points. It was a low-scoring game, and the Raiders are not the Vikings. I think it's going to be even worse. Next on the list, you have Vikings facing the 49ers. So, with that being said, the Vikings had a strong defensive game against the Bears. Now, we all know the Bears are a team that you play your defense against. But Minnesota was getting at the QB. Brock Purdy has lost 2 valuable weapons. So I think the 49ers will struggle. I believe Ayuk will have a good game because obviously that secondary is not very good. So you could play Ayuk. But I think that the Vikings are going to get sacks in this game. So if you're desperate for a defense, Vikings defense, Brandon Ayuk must play. Then you have Rams versus the Steelers, a game I really like. You have Kyron Williams down. So therefore, they're going to go to the rookie, Zach Evans. Steelers are terrible against the run. Not a lot of game tape on Zach Evans as a pro. I think Zach Evans goes off in this game. Also, you got to play, the obvious Puka Nacua every week. I like Matt Stafford in this game if you need a quarterback. Also, I do believe that this will not be another flash game for George Pickens. If you've been benching him, this is going to be the week to play him. And then I will end it with, you got to play Laporta, and you got to play Amon-Ra St. Brown, but I think this is going to be a good game, Detroit versus Baltimore, for Josh Reynolds. I think Josh Reynolds will have a nice showing, a good amount of receptions, and I think he gets a sleeper touchdown. Craig Reynolds, if you're desperate at the running back position, Baltimore, Zay Flowers. He had a good showing last week, scored a touchdown early. I believe we have now seen the time where Zay Flowers is going to become an every week start. All right? That's all I have for you this week. Good luck. And until next week, not next week because I'll be on vacation, the week after. See you on No Huddle, back to After the Whistle.
And we right. We got some interviews. Plus one interview. So there is a basketball coaches clinic happening Saturday at Madison Park High School from like 11 to like 4. Talked to Khari. He's the organizer of it. He randomly reached out to me. He asked me to come out there to do some interviews with the coaches, but cool. I couldn't make it, so I told him we'll do an interview to promote the event. So we did it. Check it out, but yeah, seems like a good one. They got a few coaches on there. This should be a good one. So check this plus one out. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Plus One interview. And today we have Mr. Khari. How are you doing, sir?
Doing well, thank you. Glad to be here.
All right, thank you for coming on. And you have an event going on this Saturday that we are excited to talk about. It is the Basketball Coaches Clinic. I believe that you've done this a couple times, am I correct?
Well, no, the Black Coaches Classic actually started with an invitational basketball event. The Basketball Coaches Clinic is the first time for this particular event.
All right, first time. All right, just first, give me a little background on how all this got put together.
Sure. I've been working in education for 20 plus years. I spent most of that time as an athletic director. Most recently, I'm now the Dean of Students at Newton North High School. But I still wanted to be involved in sports and coaching and working with young people. And so a group of my buddies and I got together and began to put together different programs, put together invitationals, put together showcases and things of that nature in and around the Boston area, greater Boston area. And we began to we found some success in doing invitationals around Black History Month. And so we, after doing a Black History Month event in a number of years, we introduced the Black Coaches Classic, which at first was a basketball invitational, about 6 games or so. After the 3rd game, we would recognize coaches who are retired, who are going on and who had major contributions to basketball and the community. So we recognized these coaches at the event. And we did that event in that way 2 years running. Then COVID hit and we kind of remodeled and this is what we came up with the Basketball Coaches Clinic to include the Coaches Clinic.
Definitely, and from the looks of it, I've seen you got a lot of notable coaches here and former coaches. And one, is this just one of those things where you're just trying to instill the game of basketball to the young individuals, and also a way for coaches just to keep in contact or keep in tune of what's going on in the communities that they either recruit kids, teach kids, or are just around and seeing the kids, on a daily basis?
Sure. So a coaches clinic model, you don't see many of them in the Northeast region at all. So they don't happen very often. I mentioned earlier that I spent 20 years as an athletic director. Being an athletic director, you're traveling around to different parts of the country sometimes and attending these kind of conferences. And so what the goal was is to bring that model of a workshop style professional development conference for coaches to New England, to Boston, to Greater Boston, for the coaches around here to take advantage of similar high caliber learning opportunities. And so, we've got, the head coach of Boston University, Joe Jones, coming down to deliver some information to coaches. We've got Corey McCarthy, who's a 5-time state champion in Massachusetts, coming down to speak. Mike Jackson, who's currently the athletic director at Newton North, but sat on the bench in the Big East and the Atlantic 10 and the Big 12 and conferences like that. So a number of exciting speakers. Ronnie Nunn, another guy who was an NBA level official, just coming down to share information with coaches in the New England region who don't often get out to workshop style professional development conferences.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you on that, because I know here in Lynn they had one this was more sort of football coaches. They had one, I think, like over the summer before football season come. They had like a little like coaches conference just to trade ideas. And you're very right. This is like something very unique. I've never seen it before, but yeah, because coaches don't get that time to come amongst each other and just like share minds and all that good stuff because of, they're getting their players ready, coaching, just trying to. All the things that are entail of being a coach, which is like a 365-day job. So this type of stuff like that is very much needed. And I feel like it also helps them just mental freedom. Like sometimes you need like to get with your people in the same field and just, mentally escape and just talk about things and see how each one could help each other.
Absolutely. I mean, those of us who work in education know that we're always borrowing ideas from other teachers and coaches from other coaches. So this is just another opportunity for coaches to share information in a venue where there are, coaches who have seen, basketball at its highest, to be able to bring back information, to our youth coaches and local college coaches as well.
Yeah, so what are we going to see? What are some of the things that we're going to see in some of the discussions that will be happening on Saturday when these coaches go up there and speak?
Sure. So how I'm promoting it is that, we'll be unpacking, concepts related to coaching principles, to in-game strategies, out-of-bounds plays, and quick 5-second situations. Mentorship and communication, player skill development, and as well as managing player recruitment, both from the collegiate perspective and the high school perspective. But the thing on my list that I think is the most attractive, the thing that's not talked about very much, is how SEL coaching concepts are woven into coaching. Social emotional learning is woven into coaching, and I'm excited about that particular workshop because it's one that I have not seen done before.
Yeah, and as students, high school students in particular, student athletes, they go through a lot, from being in school and whatever situations they have outside of school, and that escape that they get from playing whatever sport it is that they play that they love, and then from also the coaches in their lives that are kind of like parental figures to them. You feel like that's just something to help those young men, because sometimes some of them don't have that parental like big brother or father figure type that's around all the time, and they feel like the coaches, they take on that responsibility. And how do you feel like as coaches that do take on the responsibility? What's like the mindset they go through when they have to do that? Because they're not only handling that, but they probably got kids of their own too.
Sure. So far too often, obviously, students are growing up in single-family homes. I happen to be a product of a single-family home as well, so I'm familiar with the lifestyle. But I encourage coaches to meet students where they are, to meet students and players where they are, and that would help them in their development. If you are a coach who kind of has the same monotone delivery for all players are not going to understand. All players are not going to be able to hear you. And so you need to individualize your message, and that's meeting students where they are, and that's why I encourage coaches to fill in the gap for their players, get to know their players a little bit better. It's all about building relationships, and the better your relationship is with your coaches, with your players, your students, the better you'll be able to help them.
And you being in education for such a long time, you've seen like all the changes that's gone on in the education system, and also you've seen the changes that's gone on in sports, and basketball, football, just the changes in general. How have you been able to adapt each year as the years go on to all the new things that are happening in education and as far as athletics? Because the big thing right now is the social media aspect. How just have you, being a person that's been in education for a long time, just been able to adapt to all that and just still stay relatable and try to understand like what's going on as time goes by?
Yeah, so just as far as maintaining, with the times, COVID, I think, did a number on all of us. And, students, teachers, faculty, staff have not yet recovered from the COVID experience. And I think that's, it's hindered the development. And so technology has allowed, everyone to catch up. It's allowed students to be, caught up in the classroom. It's allowing coaches to be more creative in their delivery and their execution. So technology has been a gift and a curse. Social media, likewise, have been a gift and a curse. And I think we all have to do better at, understanding the implications of, electronics and social media and how they impact our lives. Mm-hmm. We've had workshops here in Newton where, we're instructing students how to use their cell phones. Mm-hmm. And I think small things like that, small educational opportunities like that to, educate young people about the impacts of social media and electronics and cell phones is helpful. So the more education, the better. But certainly social media has been a gift and a curse, and you want to use it to your advantage as best as possible. And in order to do that, there needs to be education.
Yeah, definitely. And then as far as the game of basketball has gone, the changes that you've seen, likes and don't likes, and maybe is that something you all will be tackling on as well? Is just like the changing of the way the game's played?
I think the game has changed with the times. I mean, you watch old film of Larry Bird, and there's blood. Yeah. There's actual physical contact where, and nowadays, if you fast forward to the Allen Iverson days, now there's no hand checking. And so the game is developed with the times. There are people smarter than me who have time to think about the different, different aspects of the game and why they need tweaking. I heard on social media just yesterday that there's a new rule in high school basketball where the 1-on-1 is being taken away. And it'll be 2 shots after the 5th foul moving forward. So there are tweaks every so often, in the rules of the sport of basketball and all sports that you just got to stay abreast of. And, again, those smarter than me have figured out the rationale to why we need to have those changes. And I'm someone who just rolls with the punches. I figure out the rules, familiarize myself, and roll with the punches.
Yeah, definitely. One coach I want to talk about in particular that you have on here is Mr. Khari McCarthy. He does so much in the Boston area. He does so much for those kids. He's always trying to get them to see new things and trying to expand their minds. What is like something he brings to the table that you enjoy or that you are amazed at that he does?
I'm sorry, repeat the question.
I was like, Khari McCarthy, what are just some of the things that he's been doing that kind of has you amazed or that has you marveled at, just how involved he is and how much of an influence that he's been?
Sure. Khari's an amazing brother. I was lucky enough to attend undergrad with him. He and I went to UMass Amherst together. So I've known Khari for some time. And he was amazing back then, and he's amazing now, doing wonderful things in the Boston public school system. Really striking while the iron's hot. They trust him. They believe in, the mission that he's sharing with them, and they're allowing him the flexibility to program, to get out in the community and to, and like I mentioned earlier, meet the community where they are, meet the students and families where they are, and offer them the programming that'll help them, move from A to B to improve their development. So he's a risk taker. What I'm saying? He's someone who I admire, and he is someone who in the leadership of the Boston Public Schools who I think is going to take them to the next level.
Yeah, definitely. Once again, October 21st. That is this Saturday. Please plug in all your social media's website and where they can find more information about the Basketball Coaches Clinic taking place this weekend.
Absolutely. You can go to Bankshot Basketball. That's BANKSHOT Basketball, one word. That's our website. You can find all of our information there. On Instagram is Bankshot Basketball. On Twitter is Bankshot X. All of our social medias, you can find us on at Bankshot Basketball if you search for us in the search bar. But again, Saturday, October 21st, Doors will open at 10 o'clock. 10:15 we'll have a strength and conditioning player development demonstration by a group called HERT 42 Skills. And so the idea is to give coaches some ideas around how to develop players. What's new in cutting edge in development? What's new in cutting edge in strength and conditioning?
Okay.
We'll have a series of speakers. We got about 5 speakers. I mentioned Mike Jackson is speaking, Corey McCarthy is speaking, Ronnie Nunn is speaking, Joe Jones is speaking, Lucia Robinson Griggs, women's basketball coach at MIT, is speaking. And then at the conclusion of the event, we'll have another demonstration. It'll be a practice plan demonstration. But one thing that I didn't mention was our vendor fair. So at noon, we're going to open up. If you've ever been to Madison Park, they've got 2 gymnasiums inside the facility. The main gymnasium is where the coaches' clinic will be held. The back gym is where the vendor fair will be held. And we have a number of exciting vendors that are going to be out there sharing information. And it'll be a wonderful, wonderful experience for those of you who can attend. So please come on down. The coaches' clinic is free. All you have to do is register with the QR code or with the link that's available on all of our social medias and also on the website. But looking forward to welcoming, all of New England coaches. This is really an event for all communities to come together and really network and share information to help, our New England basketball community improve.
All righty, sir. Thank you for taking the time to chat with me about this event. Definitely see it sounds like a very good one. So if you are free this weekend, go and attend to that. It's only like a 30-minute drive from Lynn to up there. So if you got nothing to do, go up there, check it out, go support. It's been fun having you. We'll sure to have you on again as the time goes on down the line, as well as you come up with more events. And then I'll definitely be in February. I'll definitely be there for those Slater games.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Look forward to chatting again.
All right. You guys have been watching the Plus One interview. Have a good one. All right, and we are back. All right, we got to recap high school football week number 6. We got to recap week 6 with Joey Barrett. Ooh, man, week 6 was wild. Check this out. We'll be back. I'll talk about some other nonsense, too. My man Joey is here with us. We got to recap a wild week of football last week. We'll start off with the wildest game that me and him were both at, Lynn Classical and Salem. We talked about how that was going to be the game of the week, and the game sure lived up to the hype. And man, you got to feel bad for Classical because it was right there for them. But man, gutsy performance from Salem, and talking to the coach and players, it was one of those proving something games because they hurt people doubting how good they are.
Well, it was one of the, I hate to use the age-old expression, but if you're a fan of defense, it wasn't the game for you.
No.
But that doesn't mean you can't give respect to the offenses. Obviously, Classical showed off its star power, as did Salem. And despite great games from Vaughn and Fessler and Naskey, the big three, they fell short on a controversial, maybe, touchdown.
It wasn't that controversial.
You're nodding your head.
It wasn't that controversial to me. That was clear cut a touchdown. High school, you got to have 1 foot. He had 2 feet.
All right. Maybe not so controversial, but in the end, it was with seconds remaining, less than a minute.
Yeah.
So a heartbreaker for Classical. But talking to Coach Vaughn after the game, they're optimistic, and the season's, in a way, it's almost over, but it's far from over, depending on your perspective.
But the game was kind of a positive for Classical ranking-wise, because before that game, they were 19. I checked today, they were 17. So that they can take some good out of that they're dropping their one game out of having that final spot for a postseason game. So All they have to do is they just have to close out. And yeah, I'm sure they'll watch. I'm sure they watched the film and saw some of the mistakes that they made. I mean, some of the two of the touchdowns, even that last one, busted coverage. That there was I think it was in the first half, or there was busted coverage. The receiver was wide open down the middle. And even that one, if you watch the replay, the DB stopped running. He slowed down. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You just can't do that. So it was just some mental lapses for them that cost them the game.
Preventable mistakes, they'll be fine. And I don't know. Overall, like you said, I mean, look how much publicity Salem's got from just 6-0 and climbing the power rankings, and Classical was right there with them. It was really whichever team had the ball last was going to win. Unfortunately, it wasn't Classical.
Yeah, but they gave everybody a classic game to remember. So then we go to Kep Academy, who keeps on winning. Well, we're going to say names right after this, but Kep Academy keeps on winning. This isn't normal the way they performed offensively. They had 12 points, and then they got the last touchdown and the 18 points. But defensively, they were great. They didn't have a bad game, though. Coach, I spoke to the coach. He said they left some points on the board. They had a touchdown called back, some miscues here and there. But to me, I think it was a well-rounded game for them.
Yeah, I agree. Well-rounded, and sometimes a star player can just come through. Mm-hmm. Chanel had a great week.
Yeah.
And he's a perfect high school player. He can run, he can throw.
Yeah.
So
doing whatever they need for him to do.
Yeah. And Kip's getting ready for that time. It's a busy few weeks coming up for them, and they'll be around. Yeah, and these are the good types of games they're going to see in the postseason. These close one possession games, and it's just like you just have to make a few more plays than the other team. And this time, defensively, I believe they forced 2 turnovers, and that's all you can ask for. Offensively, they were moving the ball really well. I mean, I'm sure the penalties, coach didn't like much of the penalties, but he was happy with the win. So absolutely,
kudos to that. St. Mary's, in preparation to their big game this week against Cardinal Spellman, they handled business. It was a pretty dominant game in that first half. They pretty much handled their business and didn't have one of those what they say letdown games or trap games. Is that the term they use in the NFL?
Is there really anything better than a big win led by some young players?
Yeah.
Because, it shows the future, yet it showed the present.
Yeah.
So St. Mary's, they're doing exactly what they should be doing. They're winning games that they should be winning, and, against the teams that are very challenging, like a Fenwick or something, the youth might show. But St. Mary's, they'll be fine.
Yeah, give a lot of credit to Maxwell and Rowan Merriman. Those guys, we've heard their names all season long.
Yeah.
We've heard, especially in their wins, we've heard their names. They've came up with big plays in Spartans' win this year, and they got injuries too. The Spartans got injuries, and those guys are stepping up. So,
I see that from young players all the time, where it's, the first 3 weeks of a season, and they're, say it's a different sport, they got 10 goals or something in soccer, and then when they're younger, naturally, it takes some time and they might regress a little bit. But Maxwell Parent, really since week 1, 2, has been as consistent as can be.
Yeah, definitely. All right, time for some other teams that didn't have a great week. We'll start off Lynn English Thursday in Malden. I know that game, they're looking back at it, and they squandered some opportunities. They had opening drive, they were marching down the field, and I feel like that fumble just took all the energy out of them, because offensively they weren't the same until like about the 3rd or 4th quarter, because they weren't doing nothing after that first drive.
Yeah, they were in the game, and then it came down to the final play, right? And just didn't go their way. It was a jump ball, so to speak, but it's time to not worry and just look at the next week and try to win out, and they have a winnable game this week. I
just feel like that's been a microcosm of their season. You had games where it's just like right there, but you shoot yourself in the foot too many times. Little offensively too slow, offensively not getting things going at a pace you want to get it, and then when you finally do get it going, it's too late. And then even on that last play, I think the quarterback rushed that pass, because if he had more time than he thought he did. So I think he threw a little too fast, but he had more time than he thought he did, and the receiver had some separation. So if he just took another second to not throw off his back foot, you might get a touchdown on that play because he was open.
And like most teams, there are a very select few teams now who have Super Bowl aspirations, right? So like a lot of teams, English, I think, just use the rest of the season wisely. Work on the little things and improve and look ahead to next year and have fun.
Yeah.
Try to see what you can do.
Yeah, just try to set something up for the Thanksgiving showdown. That's it.
Which I think is going to be closer than some people think.
Oh, yeah, throw them records away.
Yeah, anything can happen on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, definitely. And then lastly, Lynn Tech. Man, this is another one. Lynn Tech. They probably watched that film and they're going to see that they had they had numerous opportunities in this game to put points right before the half. They were on the goal line, didn't get a touchdown. I think they were on the goal line again, threw an interception. They tied the game up at 7. You give up a big kick return. 2 plays later, Low Catholic scores. You have a chance to tie it, throw an interception instead of going with a short pass to the receiver that's open in the flat. Tries to throw it to another receiver and overthrows it, and that's how it was. So it's just, I said this before, but shooting yourself in the foot.
Well, it's hard because, Low Catholic has that trick play.
Yeah.
And the Crusaders convert on that right before the half. And runners, he said it simply, we wish we had it back, but we can't go back. There's no do-overs. And at the end of the day, they had a great touchdown, man, from Ortega. Yeah. He threw it down the left sideline. It was a pinpoint pass. So there are positives to take away, and it was Low Catholic's first win. Yeah. And James Runner, the head coach of Tech, was, he gave them credit. But at the end of the day, it was just not Tech's day.
Yeah, and speaking with head coach Kavanaugh of Lowell Catholic, he said they've been in all the games they've played this year. It just came down fourth quarters. They just couldn't finish in the fourth quarters. Or they have leads going into the fourth quarter and give it up, so this was the first time.
Runner said they were the best 0-5 team that they had to play and that they could play. And I think the week before, Kip was losing to them at halftime. Yeah. So, not the end of the world.
I think they were down going into the fourth, 22-6 or something like that. Going into
absolutely. And Coach Runner added that he wishes his offensive line was a little more effective in that game. And he wished he had the kickback and the touchdown right before the half.
Yeah, that one. That touchdown right before the half, that was the killer because they were right there and then they had penalties and stuff like that. So it's always the little things in football that get you. Always.
And can I just say something? Yeah. I thought there was so much class on display from the Tigers that day, and some people, might say, you don't need to report this; it's not newsworthy, but it's nice to add. Yeah. Just before the game, Runner and the team shake hands with members of the band, and then after, very supportive, and I like that stuff. Yeah. And they all say thank you to the crowd after the game. I'm a sucker for that stuff, so well done from Tech.
Those are stuff that needs to be reported. Who says they out there biased? Yeah, because if those kids were doing something else that wasn't so positive, people would be the first to try to put it everywhere. So, yeah. That's how it goes.
Absolutely.
Where are we at this week?
I am at Lynn Tech's game, and then I will actually be at Catholic Memorial versus St. John's Prep Saturday, but the Revere at Classical game will be covered by a former Item sports editor. I won't say who, but if you're a fan of the Item, you'll be happy with the Classical game story.
All right. You'll see me at the Prep as well. I'll be there. It's supposed to rain that day, too, so it's going to be a rainy day, but I'll have my rain gear for the camera, and I'll be amongst the people. We'll see y'all there.
It'll be a short segment next week if there are only a few games.
Yeah. We'll see y'all next week. All right, and we are back. Next up, it's Bill Newell with our game of the week. There's a couple games of the week this week, so check this out. Then we come back, preview the NBA. Welcome to another edition of our high school football game of the week. Bill is here with us once again. Before we do that, boy, did we have a barn burner on Friday.
That's right, man. What a game that was. That's definitely the game of the year so far. Salem's 48-44 win over Lynn Classical. Classical's throws for over 400 yards. They don't win the game. It's amazing. But Salem comes up with a big play right at the end and wins it. Both teams missed some extra point attempts or 2-point conversions, if you will, in the game that probably were costly. But a game that could have gone either way. A great one to win, but a very tough one to lose, huh?
Yeah, definitely. And I counted to only 2 punts. There was only 2 punts in that game. So if you like offense, that was the game to be at. Good for Salem to boost their resume, and they're still, I think, a #1 spot for their in their respective division. And then Classical got some work to do to close out the season to try to get in there. So it's fun times as we get closer to the end of the regular season. All right, games of the week. I got a couple in mind, but we'll start. You already know which one we're going to talk about.
Well, I suppose you really can't not pick this one. The St. John's Prep game at home Saturday afternoon against CM. Great Catholic Conference rival, super teams. CM, interestingly enough, in Division II, the Prep in Division I. They have expectations of making it to the Super Bowl every year, I think. It's a big game. I don't know how the Prep stands in this one, though. I think they need to play their best game of the year to win this game. Injuries, I don't know if they'll play a factor at all, but, I saw Prep once against St. John's of Shrewsbury. I'm very impressed with them defensively. Quarterback Deacon Robillard has done the job for them this year very well. They got some great running backs in Cam LaGrassa and Jimmy Nardone, also Nardone on the defensive side and whatever. But they've got a great team. And the question is, though, they've really got to play their best game. I think they still have their best games ahead of them moving forward and in through the playoffs. That's my take on the Prep. I'm just, we talk to the coach every week. And, I know he's confident, but he knows this is going to be a tough matchup for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I've gone to 2 or 3 of their games, and I think he always mentions this is that point of the season where he wants them to play their best football. It's starting to get a little bit colder out now. The temperatures are dropping, and he feels like they've been working towards molding into a complete team that he usually puts out there. As for Catholic Memorial side, this team, boy, talk about a team that's been just having guys step up week in and week out. They went to Florida and they lost a few players to injuries. They've got injuries all over the place, but they've just it's next man up, and they've had guys step up. LaShawn Sharp, the junior running back, he came up big against Xaverian with big runs in the fourth quarter when they were down. Obviously, the game-winning touchdown pass. He had quarterback Peter Bork, young sophomore. He's been showing promise. I forgot who I talked to, but that game was like a grow-up game for him against Xaverian. That was that showed the maturity of him as a sophomore. And then they got receivers. They have receivers. They got a lot of receivers. They got a couple sophomore receivers that are really good, and then there's some other receivers as well. So they lost some guys, graduation, injuries, but they're still a loaded roster, and they're still a threat offensively as well.
Yeah, they just beat Xaverian 41-38, but they had injuries in that game, so
yes.
That's something to keep in mind. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I was at that game. That was a very competitive game, really competitive, and it just showed their grit and maturity for them to go down the field. It was like 50 seconds left. They went 80 yards in 50 seconds for that one, and the other game I saw of them was against St. Francis. Well, no, the season opener, and then another game against St. Francis, and it just looked like that running attack and those receivers. They just had guys stepping up, so it's gonna be. The Prep has it. Both teams have their hands cut out because it's like 2 different styles, and it's 2 effective styles.
Yeah, the other factor, I don't know. I know there's rain in the forecast. I know a day ago there was going to be a lot of rain in the forecast for Saturday. I think they've backed off that a little bit, but it could be damp. That's something that teams have to prepare for or be aware of, as I'm sure they already do. But whether that plays a factor, it doesn't seem like it would matter, but it could be a factor at some point.
Yeah, definitely. All right, the other game this week is happening Thursday night in Haverhill. Whittier Tech hosting Kip Academy. This one is for the conference. Both teams coming in this game 5-1. Kip with a hard-fought victory over Greater Lowell on this past Saturday, and I've sang the praise of the Kip Panthers all season, and this team, a lot different from last year's team, but they are very tough, and they could win. They could win in any different style.
Yeah, no, you've seen them. I haven't. I loved last year's Kip team. I thought it was a great team. A lot of great athletes on that team. But I'll take your word for it on that. But you're right. That's a big conference game for them. And then they moved it to Thursday, huh? Right. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Thursday, I think 5:30. It's going to be an early one. So for those folks taking that drive, that's going to be a big one. And I don't know if you have this one. The last one I have is Winthrop and Salem.
Yes. I'm going to be at that game.
Okay.
I agree with you. I think that's a very good game, tough game. I like Winthrop this year. I mean, I think they're a solid defensive team. I think some teams have shut them down offensively at times. So they've got to play. I think they've got to play lights out defense. Does Winthrop to win against Salem? Of course, you and I both saw Salem last week. They're pretty impressive, but sometimes coming off a big win, sometimes the next time out is a challenge. So I mean, I'm sure they're very aware of that. You always are, but playing in Winthrop, it's a tough place. They haven't won in Winthrop. I mean, they haven't had a great record against Winthrop the last several years, last decade actually, I think. But that's been the way it was with Classical too, last weekend. So. Yeah, I think that'll be a great game. I'll add one more to it for you, and that's another Thursday night game. Bishop Feehan playing at Bishop Fenwick.
Okay.
Both teams 5-1 on the year. This Feehan team is the one that knocked out Peabody last year, but I understand it's a totally different team than the one a year ago. Different offense, all that stuff, but they're tough. I hear they're very tough. Yeah. And so that'll be, if Fenwick gets out with a win on Thursday night at home, that'll be a big win for them. The same deal with Prep we were talking about earlier. If they can do that on Thursday night, on Saturday afternoon rather, at the Prep, that would be a huge win for them too.
Yeah, definitely. And one last one on the Salem Winthrop one. Winthrop the week before they played Peabody. They gave Peabody all they could handle. Peabody won that game, but Winthrop gave Peabody all they could handle.
I was at that game, and that's like the third game I think of Winthrop I've seen this year. And I think again, holding Peabody, it was close throughout that game, and holding Peabody to the 25 points in that game, I think it was 25, I believe it was, but that was a pretty good showing. Peabody didn't run all over the place with them on that game that was Thursday night actually, a week ago, Thursday. Yeah, so, and that's what I'm talking about. This Winthrop defense is good, and yet, and their line seems to be pretty good as well. So, and they'll be at home, and they'll want to get back on the winning side of things after the loss last week to Peabody.
Yeah, I think I'll be at that one too. I think I'm gonna go to that one. It sounds like. Yeah, I think I'll make that drive to Winthrop. It sounds like a intriguing matchup that I need to check out.
Winthrop, the one in Winthrop you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It should be good.
Alrighty. Thank you as always. Always great talking.
All right. Great to see you.
Yeah, we gotta set something up before the postseason. Me, you, and Joey. Before the postseason start, get you guys in the studio.
Well, we'll be there. No problem. That sounds good.
Yeah, definitely, man. All righty. That is Bill. You guys have
Take care.
All right, have a good one. Yep. All right, and we are back. Oh, speaking of though, I said, I don't see you, so I got somebody made a hate page about me.
Huh?
Yeah. They messing with my boy Bo. I don't know who y'all are.
What's it on?
On Twitter, so you made
a Twitter hate page?
I hate Mook or something like
legit.
that. Mukala hate page. That's the name of it.
That's the name of it.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, bro.
I couldn't stop laughing.
I wasn't laughing.
How many people are on it?
And then the person got 4 followers.
I wasn't even
Do
laughing.
you know who it is?
Yeah, I know who it is.
Is it like an adult?
No.
Oh my God.
But there's adults following.
I mean, my
There's
thing.
adults following.
I'll be honest. I find all this hysterical just because, like, if you really got an issue with somebody, just like
Grow
people
up.
aren't hard to find. You can approach people and have
They
a
watching
conversation.
now. They watching now. That's the type of people they are.
People know I don't care. So like, just keep it moving. But I'm just saying, like, you really got an issue. Like, you can just contact people, contact the man. He's out in public. Like he's.
You have to be a whole mentally unstable person.
And then it's like, what's the issue? Because you have opinions. Everybody got opinions.
Right.
There are a lot.
It ain't because of my opinion.
Oh, know what it is?
Oh, it's because your footage.
Yeah.
And
I mean, my thing is like, this generation got to understand that, like, growing up, being a teenager, dealing with embarrassment is part of being a teenager.
it's part of growing up.
Yeah, but definitely being a teenager, because you got to go to school, you got to deal with that embarrassment, you got to learn how to overcome it and how to change people's perspective. So, like, everybody gets dunked on, except for me. Everybody gets crossed or something like
I ever
that.
got dunked on.
I'm not
either.
saying you have. I'm saying just, people get embarrassed and stuff like that. And now, unfortunately, you live in a world where everything's on YouTube, everything's on Instagram. So you definitely you have to have
Snapchat, they snapping on you.
But you have to have even tougher skin. But I tell people, I don't even know who comments on any of my posts because I don't read them.
Yeah. And you know what's.
Mook, you're handling this pretty well. Like, Mook was laughing about it.
It's hilarious.
I mean, it is funny, but to me, it's not funny. It's not funny that somebody's putting a hate page out because of somebody's opinion or somebody's footage.
But it also just shows how people are raised, and it's hysterical because it just shows
Yeah, check that minor.
So
You know,
it's,
and
I
you know, here's
don't know who it is, but
Here's
what
the
I
thing.
said.
Here's the thing about this. If you ever end up on the wrong side of a highlight reel, don't be mad at the cameraman. You gotta be mad at yourself because you're the one that's out there. You could have prevented it from happening, but you did it.
you got to have a strong discussion with your feet.
And it's not like it was like a young, right? It was like a lot of toddler.
No, it ain't a toddler.
Yeah, so grow up, grow some skin, man.
And the thing is, this particular person that did this, for some reason, whenever his team loses, that's when he feels the need to try and say something to me.
Oh, so
when
you're
the
his
team,
release.
when the team loses.
Are they on this side of the city?
No.
Oh, so that means we don't even understand how they think then. Because, I tell people, Lynn is all one city, but it ain't. Like, Lynn is
I
definitely sectioned and, not mean, like I said, I don't see a lot of kids from certain areas walking down Union Street and coming around here, like, personally, like, that's just how I feel. Like, you ain't from Lynn, you never walked down Union Street. Like,
And the funniest thing about this whole thing is, I get on here. I don't know. I've been going hard on it, Lynn English, like my criticism of Lynn English.
it's your
right?
alma mater. You have the right to.
But the players here,
It's all up.
they don't get mad whenever they see me, or when I go to the games and they lose and like something. When they see me, they just like.
Those are real dudes. Those are real dudes.
Those are my guys. They talk to me and they be like.
I know, and I know who you're talking about. Those are real dudes.
Also, too, we'll have workouts, at Man and Field, and those same kids will come to the workout knowing that we care. So we're going to put this work in with you. You better show me a better product.
And they're gonna respect your opinion too.
Yeah.
They're not gonna.
But that just shows me you're mentally fragile if you letting something that wasn't even a real game really have you have a disdain for a person that ain't even say a word to you. Just laughed at your request.
That's a personal issue.
Exactly.
A personal issue.
I got picked on at home, so like I had a couple incidents happen to me where I got banged up, and my dad called me speed bump for like 2-3 years of my life.
I grew up in the projects. That's what I'm gonna say to you. I grew up in the projects where you had to have thick skin. Okay? Like I said, you gotta, listen. This is to a hate page because somebody has some footage of you. That's the parent, whoever that parent is, needs to check that.
Now that I definitely agree with, because for you to even, for one, hate is a very, very strong word.
And they use that word.
And for you, if you to hate somebody, that means you don't like care about their existence, what might happen to them. And my thing is like
just that energy. I don't even like that energy.
That's too much. That's too much.
Same here.
And why are they focusing so much on you anyways?
Because he's the best in the business.
Like, that's weird to me. Like, you
Very
focusing
weird.
on a whole
Because he's
grown
the
man.
best in the
Like,
business of what he
men don't
does.
even-
That's
no disrespect, because, you know,
Just
I
being
love y'all,
honest.
but men don't matter to me. I don't make no babies with no men.
Yeah, but these are
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I've always thought. Like,
he's a minor, so he doesn't understand that yet.
Like, what?
But
What
that
you
needs to
about a
be
man for? That's weird.
explained to him
that's odd to me.
by his parents.
That does need to be explained, but you know,
And it ain't
I
our
just-
job too. How we out here schooling people's kids?
Yeah, and you know, it
That's just sad though.
I just say, don't try me, please. Don't try me. Don't try me.
Yeah, that's
Because he'll tell you I am. For y'all, some of y'all don't really know me. I am a little crazy, so please don't try me.
I had to
Don't try
talk him
me.
out a couple situations, but my thing is though, like, that's the thing. This generation wants to bait you, and then when something happens, hopefully nothing ever happens, then they want to cry victim.
For victim,
And
yep.
it's too late. So how about we just all be respectful? Like I tell kids, just be respectful. We both stay in our lanes, and we go about our lives.
And then the only other option is we got to get the parent.
I'm just glad Mook was laughing at it. Because
mean,
if Mook wasn't
everybody-
laughing at it, I wasn't. I was the
Everybody
only one
was
that
laughing
wasn't.
at it because
I
everybody
didn't
knows
like
how
it.
stupid it was.
I didn't like it at
Well,
all.
for anybody that knows, this is the first time I'm hearing about this, so
yeah.
y'all saw my reaction.
I mean, you know, I've told you about. I know I've told you about it a million times about who the person is, so you know we laugh about
I
it.
mean, there are a lot of people that don't like people in the city, but won't say anything to them when they see them. So, meaning, your hate or your anger isn't even warranted if you're not going to approach the person. So just go be angry in the corner and keep it moving, or just let it go.
Or will say something when they're.
No, that's not going to happen.
No, well, they'll say something when they're with a bunch of people as conducting.
Yeah, that's weird.
Work.
Yeah, that's weird.
Whatever. That's that tad bit. That was like 10 minutes, but
Yeah, because I gotta
okay.
go.
yeah,
well,
Todd got to go soon, so
they
we got to
deserve
get
it.
this NBA preview real quickly out of here because he got stuff to do. All right, NBA season starts off next week, Tuesday. Man, I don't know about y'all. This might be the first time we might actually see the changing of the guard in the NBA because there's so many young talent in the league and a lot of teams with the moves that they've made. I think it's like one of those. It might be a wide open year to see who makes it.
I agree.
I like what a lot of teams have done.
I agree. And the in-play tournament, too. You know what I'm saying? That's something new. So that goes along with the changing of the guard, the changing the way the game is being played. You know what I mean? So
Kind of have no choice. The guys are getting older. So, like, it ain't like they're in their 28, 29.
Yeah.
They mid-30s. Like, so they're a couple years to their 40. You know, granted, they're going to get pushed out of the top 10, top 15, top 20 ratings and all that. But those ratings don't even matter because these people are smoking crack.
the in-season tournament, that's what I meant to say, the in-season tournament.
You heard about the ratings, though? How they did the top 100? These people are smoking.
What'd they do?
They're smoking
Go
crack.
look at the top 100 players in the league. Go look at it.
Oh, they did a top 100 now?
Yeah, go look at it.
They're on drugs.
Yeah, go look. It's online.
Tell me one person that's on
They're
it.
smoking that.
That you're like, whoa. One person.
They got Russell Westbrook like 94, 96.
97 or something like
97.
that. Yeah, they got him in the 90s.
And they got Kyrie like 34. They're all crap.
They got Russell 90.
They don't have Ja in the top 10.
Like,
Ja Morant's a top 10 player right now in the NBA.
No, all
give him-
time? Is that
No,
all-
this is
Nah,
like
nah,
no,
this
this
is
is
right
like
now.
in the.
I'll give him top 15 because I'm going to put Kyrie ahead of him personally.
They got
Skill-wise.
Kyrie right now at 34?
Yeah, like 30 something. Yeah, that's wild.
Come on.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Crap.
No way. Who listed him that?
Hey man,
No, I don't. I think it's like, the Sports Illustrated,
I think
ESPN,
something
one of
like
them.
that. Yeah.
Kyrie is top 3 guards in the NBA.
Bro, I didn't make the list.
He's top 3
numbers are
guards in the
weird.
NBA.
The numbers are weird, but yeah, those
I know that.
things.
Clearly.
Yeah. But
I know that.
but Westbrook's 90s in the 90s, Westbrook.
Do me a favor. I want them. I can't wait to see that list. I want to see the 34 that are ahead of him.
I want to see
The
the
33, I
I
should
want to
say.
see the 94, 96 people that are ahead of Westbrook.
Right?
That's what I really want. Like, that's
They,
why.
they ain't even have Derek White in the top 100. And Derek White, he should be somewhere in the 90s.
Where's Tatum?
Tatum's in the top 10, I believe.
He's top 10.
Yeah,
Brown, top
10.
20.
I don't know.
I think-
Nobody talked about Brown when he was listening. I'm just that serious. I'm just talking with the people that really talking about.
Kyrie is
Yeah.
34?
You know the top 3 are.
Are you sure that's not his age?
Nah, he's like
Did they
31,
mix the
32.
age up with the position?
Wow.
Shea, I think Shea. Shea, OKC, I think they're going to do some things. Shea,
Oh, yeah.
He's coming off an All NBA season last year. He's really taken that leap. So he's one of the best. I think he averaged 30 last year.
Yeah,
It was like
something
one
like
of
that.
3 or 4 players that averaged 30s. I say OKC's gonna be tough.
And he got Chet.
Yeah.
Got that big guy Chet. And he has some young forward talent with the Williams guys.
Oh, they just got Kevin Porter off the trade.
No, they waived him.
About the wave.
Oh, they about to waive him?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
And the reason why
Legal
they
stuff.
even did it, right? Now save money.
yeah. I like what the Lakers did, getting all those young guys to surround AD and LeBron, all those young guys. Cam Reddish, a guy who has all the talent in the world. We just got
All the talent,
Yeah,
yeah.
it just all got to come together for him. Jackson Hayes, I think he's a good, solid role player.
Yeah, that was a good
Who else?
pickup.
Gabe Vincent they got. So good young guys to surround LeBron and AD,
look
because
good
you know
the
they're
other
not LeBron and AD. They're gonna miss some games.
I don't know how you let go of Malik Monk.
Oh, the Lakers, right?
I don't know how.
Right.
Like how?
To make room for size.
But he's a bucket.
Bro,
He is a bucket. Dude can shoot the lights out.
shoot.
Drive, everything.
People
Where is
can't-
he now?
Sacramento.
Oh, yeah, that's why I saw him. That's he looked good, too.
Getting buckets off the
Yeah.
bench. Coming off
What?
the bench, getting you like 20.
That's smart, though.
Yeah. How
You
you
can't cover that man.
how do you like
Do what you want out there.
the Sun? How you like the Suns?
I mean, Bill's able to be free, kind of like Ray was. You know, because Ray was coming being the first option. Then with KG and Paul, he was third, but he was legit 3-man. But I mean, 3 and D, if you really want to call that what he played. But with Bill, he's gonna be able to do what he wants just because I was just watching. I mean, Alanis, they're really focusing on him having the third best defender on him, and he hasn't had that at all his whole career. So.
Yeah, Bill's gonna shine. I also like the additions on the the upgrade in size. I think what's his name? Nurkic? Yeah, Jurek, whatever.
Nurkic.
Nurkic. Whatever, one of them names. He's I know what he looked like. I think he's better than Ayton. I think he's gonna be, but he's not as reliable.
Yeah, he just gotta stay healthy.
If he's on the floor, he's gonna play well.
Yeah. Celtics preseason. I watched a couple games.
Celtics look like
A whole different team. Like a lot more spacing on the floor.
they sharing the ball well.
Yeah, a lot
Drew.
of sharing.
It's true. It's true. They got a real point guard. Marcus Smart was not a real point guard.
No.
Okay. It's Drew.
It's
Drew makes a world of a
even
difference.
Derek White. Like those two together on the floor too is really good. And I mean, Porzingis right now got a little pep in his step. He's running the floor, playing defense, making shots. He looks
good.
He looks good. And what people haven't really been talking about, last year he played the most games in his career.
He did?
Career highs. Yeah, he played like 66 games or
So
something
he's
like
healthy. He's getting older. He's grew into his body.
Yeah.
But know who's going to be an X factor for us? Peyton Pritchard. Peyton Pritchard. Huge.
You know, I seen that dude once.
Up.
Oh my bad.
We're gonna go as he goes.
Yeah, definitely. All right, yo, Todd got to get up out of here. So
Yeah.
You can say peace to the camera.
Yeah. Catch y'all next week.
All right, T.
All right, we are back. All right, yeah, Todd had to dip. He got some appointments that he had to get to, but yeah, we're gonna give you all our sports update. We did talk about the Celtics and all that, but WNBA Finals, the Aces are leading the Liberty 2-1, but the Aces got injuries right now. Chelsea Gray, I believe they lost 2 players that aren't playing tonight because of injury. I know Chelsea Gray's one of them. I don't know who the second one is.
Hopefully it wasn't Asia. They need Asia.
I'm looking at that right now. Stokes.
Okay.
Kia
Yeah,
Stokes.
She's key.
Kia Stokes.
I was at the championship last year when they
Chelsea
when
Gray's
they
a
won
big
it.
loss though. Chelsea Gray. That's
She's
a
the
big
point.
loss.
She
Yeah.
runs everything. She's the motor.
Yeah. But now this is the time Kelsey Plum got to step up, and of course, Asia Wilson, who I think was the MVP of the league, she got to
Right.
step up too. So.
When they gave it to Plum though, right? They gave it to Plum.
No, they gave it to Brianna Stewart.
Brianna Stewart. I'm talking about last year's MVP. They gave it to Plum, right? In the finals. Yeah.
Probably.
I would think it was Asia.
Yeah, so they got it. The Aces got the chance to close it out tonight, or it goes back to Vegas for Game 5.
I think it's going back to Vegas.
You think it's going back to Vegas?
Yeah, they need Gray.
Because of the injuries?
Yep.
It would be cool for her to go back to Vegas, but I just think I think Asia Wilson's gonna have a big game, and they're just gonna come out
I hope
with
so.
the victory.
I love the Aces.
Because I don't think there's anybody on that court that could guard Asia Wilson.
Brianna, she don't think the block. You ain't see that block?
Yeah, she's good, but I don't think she. I just think Asia Wilson is just up here.
Oh yeah, as far as game.
Yeah.
She's a little quicker, but Brianna got some skills.
Yeah, she does.
Brianna got some skills.
Brianna can make stuff difficult for Asia Wilson on the offensive end. She can put the ball on the floor and she can take her out to the three-point line. So we'll see. I'm actually going to tune in for this game, game 4. All right, Bucks. Other news. Postseason, Major League Baseball postseason update. I forgot to talk about this last year. The Houston Astros, 7th straight championship game series appearance. Right now they're down 2-0 to the Texas. It's a whole Texas thing in the ALCS. And then the Phillies are up 2-0 on Arizona.
Smashed them. They smashed them last night.
Yeah.
Put some runs up. They're looking good. Former Red Sox players. Always looking good everywhere.
Philly was in the finals last year, right?
Yeah.
See, they were in the World Series last year, right? They're trying to get back to it. Well, so we might have a repeat World Series matchup from last year. But right now, the Astros got to get it together, and the Diamondbacks need to get it together if they want to have a chance at these series.
Yeah. Dusty Baker, man. He's a vet. I think, he's been in the trenches. He's been in these type of situations before.
Yeah.
If anybody can do it between those two teams, I would say Dusty Baker for sure.
Agreed.
I would go with the Astros.
Yeah, definitely. All right, me and Stevie were talking about this earlier, but Showtime Sports is stopping operations. HBO as well, right?
Yep, they already have.
HBO
stopped their boxing production years ago.
Yeah, so what does this mean for the future of boxing programming?
So what it means is they're going to move to a different platform. Right now, the PBC has been offered $1 billion from the Zone to move to the Zone and bring their production to the Zone. But Amazon also made an offer, and Amazon's offer is not known yet, but for myself and a lot of boxing fans, we know that if you go to the Zone already has dates that they have fights that are already being put on. But if you go to Amazon, everything's open. All the dates are open. They don't have a boxing platform. This will be the first. They got the NFL, and the NFL is pretty successful on Amazon. So, I like Amazon.
Streaming is the way to go. It's the way to go. And I think some of these fighters are probably thinking they probably just need a platform that they control, so they could, so it won't be that middleman. Get rid of the middleman.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
It might be that because I know I saw Terrence Crawford and Ryan Garcia talking about it on Twitter. Like the boxers need to get something.
Yeah, those
together.
those are guys that they put in their work and they're no longer under anybody's banner. They're independent fighters. But a lot of these young fighters, they don't have the money, they don't have the name, they don't have the cachet so they have to sign on to somebody like PBC, and then PBC signs with the networks. But someone like Crawford, Canelo, they can do what they want to do. They can go straight to the network, they can use PBC, whatever the best business deal is going to be, that's what they'll do.
Yeah, definitely. So,
And it doesn't affect the rest of the fights. All the fights that were already contracted this year, they're going to fulfill those fights like David Benavidez versus Boo Andrade. What else? That's going to be a great fight. Incredible fight. I believe I have to go with the Mexican Monster. He's undefeated. Yeah, they're both undefeated. But the Mexican Monster, he's been in 168 his whole career. Boo Boo moved up from 154. It's kind of like what Charlo did with Canelo, but the difference is he had a fight at 168 already. So that's what he tested the power of the guy. So I think he'll be able. Talking about Andre tested the power of the guys at 168, and I think he's going to give Benavidez some problems. But at the end of the day, I think the Monsters is going to win.
Yeah, definitely. Pedro, what else fights they got lined up? I know there was a press conference that got heated.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday, I watched a little bit of that.
Devin Haney and Regis Prograis. Now, it wasn't even Regis that was heated. It was Regis's coach. coach. It was his strength and conditioning coach who really made that a heated and entertaining press conference.
I mean, that's typical boxing press conferences for you. There's never a peaceful press conference in boxing. It's always somebody always got to act crazy.
You got to sell the fight.
Yeah,
you know, they were selling the fight, and in this fight, initially, I was feeling, cautious for Devin Haney because of the weight. But then I seen him face to face, and Devin's actually towers over him. I think Devin's going to have his way with Regis.
Pedro, what you think?
This kid from New Orleans, what's his name?
Regis.
Yeah, he has a lot of power, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 25 KOs.
Mm-hmm. Out of 29 fights. He definitely does. But at the same time, you're talking about the dream, Devin Haney.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
And his skill, and like I said, I at first I was thinking like you, Regis has too much power. You know what I'm saying? If he catches Devin, Devin's going down, which still might even happen. Mm-hmm. But I think with Devin bulking up in weight and his skills, his experience, his skills, I think he's going to dominate. I don't think he's going to knock Prograis out, but he's going to dominate the fight.
I know it's just one fight. Last fight of Prograis, he didn't really look too good, but it was just one fight. So
right. And if you heard what he said he kind of did that on purpose because if he would have knocked the dude out in 2 rounds, nobody would want to fight him. Devin wouldn't have signed that contract. Yeah. That's what he was saying.
All right, so and this is for the World Super Lightweight title?
Yep, WBC.
All right, sure.
Great fight. It's going to be a great fight. Good fight. Entertaining. Regis is always entertaining. Devin's always entertaining. Great fight.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to see that. All right, it's time for our another one.
Just a quick highlight of last week's matchup. Here it is.
Yeah. This is Mendoza versus Tim Tszyu. And Mendoza's a tough out, and Tim Tszyu made him look like a tomato can the whole fight. And the argument now is, should Tim Tszyu fight Jermell Charlo, or should he fight Terrence Crawford? Because Terrence Crawford can move up, right? Since Tim Tszyu owns the WBO championship, and ask for a mandatory fight because that's a loophole within the WBO.
Okay.
If you're a champion at a lower weight, you can move up right away and ask for a championship fight, only with the WBO. So that's the argument that's going on right now in the boxing world, whether it should be Charlo, who wants to come back and retain his belt because he had to give it up going up weight. He didn't lose it to him, but he gave it up.
I mean, it seems like either or it'll be a big deal.
Yeah.
Either whoever he chooses to fight, I think that'll be a big sell. People definitely want to see if Charlo can get those belts back because he's going to go with technically I've never lost these belts. I had to give them up. So, and then you got to go with, and then there's Crawford, who we just know his resume, what he's been doing. So can't go wrong with either.
Who would you rather see, though?
Crawford. Him and Crawford.
Who would you rather see, Pedro?
Crawford versus Tim Tszyu. Because we're talking about skills versus power. This kid has a lot of power. This kid, Tszyu.
Yes, very powerful.
Yeah. Well,
I personally, though, I'd rather see Charlo fight him, and then I'd rather see Crawford fight Boots Ennis.
The thing is about Charlo, I mean, I like him, but he's not as busy in there.
Right, and but my reasoning is this: the reason why I want to see him fight Tim Tszyu is because if Tim Tszyu does beat Crawford, then there's no argument about Charlo's gonna be like, oh, Crawford. No. I want to see Charlo fight Tim Tszyu, see if he can get his belt back, and then Crawford fights the winner of that. That's what I want to see.
That makes sense.
okay, yeah. Man.
That's what I want to see.
Agreed.
And in the meantime, either give Errol his rematch, right? If you don't give Errol his rematch, then fight Boots. So you can shut everybody up. Because everybody's like, oh, you scared of Boots and this and that. He's not afraid of Boots. Just what does he gain out of fighting Boots?
Gotcha. Well,
You know me and my boxing.
Yeah, we'll see if that happens. Then that's our boxing update. Oh man, let's get to the players and the coaches interviews. So here, so for coaches, we got Malden coach, we got Coach Driscoll from St. Mary's, Coach Kavanaugh from Lowell Catholic, Coach Rabbit from Kip Academy, Coach Bouchard from Salem. And for players, we got Sean Scott from Lowell Catholic, Albert Pujols from Salem, Maxwell Parent, and Rowan Merriman from St. Mary's.
Bro, my guy.
Chanel Gutierrez and Jose Echeverria. So check these interviews out, and we'll come back.
Coach, seems like every time these two teams get together, it's always some type of dramatic ending at the end. You talk about your defense with that last possession.
The kids are tough. Lynn always comes. They always put out a good program. Regardless of records, those kids came to play, and it's always one of those teams. Lynn's always plays tough. All their teams do. Whether their records are great or not, but they always have athletes. The kids want to compete. Defense this year, we after what happened last season, we wanted to kind of get some redemption, and these kids had that in their minds. So
that first drive, they were marching down the field. They were moving the ball pretty easily. Then you guys got that turnover, and then after that, it seemed like you guys made it really tough for them.
I think what it is I think in the beginning you always get that first drive jitters. You're trying to figure each other out. Same thing happened our first win that we had against Somerville. They went down on us. Kind of have to make adjustments. The kids kind of understand what they're doing, and they start producing. We start making adjustments. So you always get that first drive jitters. Ideally, you don't want that, but it is what it is.
What worked for you guys offensively? It seemed like you guys got a lot of success in the ground game today.
We switched up some things a little bit. Started opening up holes and just adjusting from up top. With what we were seeing, front wise, because they kept switching between the 4 and the 5 front and trying to exploit what they were giving us. That's all you can really do is take what they're going to give you. And it happened to work up front for us.
All right, Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
Coach, that might have set your life back a couple years. But can you talk about the resiliency of your team and how they were just able to fight even through all Classical just goes down and takes the lead. You guys have to march down the field. Just talk about your guys and how mature the maturity you showed up today.
Yeah, I think that's, in a lot of the interviews I've had, the last couple weeks, one of the big things I've been emphasizing is not only the experience and maturity of the football team, and that typically shows its head, right, when things start going bad. And I think what you saw tonight was anytime something difficult happened, they responded, right? And it wasn't like they responded once. That second half, they had to respond again and again and again. And I think that shows the level of dedication that they've put into their craft, right? And again, a big part of football is the mental side, right? And again, a lot of guys, when you're competing and you get behind the 8 ball, a lot of guys kind of cash out, right? They hit the easy button and they say, see you later. These guys don't believe in the easy button, man. They really grind and they care about each other. And in those big moments, that's really what that's what makes the difference, in my opinion.
Definitely. What statement do you feel your guys made today on this field against a really good team like that?
Yeah, first off, hats off to Classical. They got some talented guys over there. It definitely left a lot of coaches with sleepless nights coming into this game, just trying to figure out how to defend that talent. But I think for the Salem High program, it's a big win because, again, we haven't competed against Classical in 19 years, right? This is the first win since 2004. So, for me, that means a lot. It means a lot that, my staff and these kids have committed themselves so they can do something like that, which hopefully is bringing a lot more pride to Salem. And, it was great to see the stands full tonight, just loving on the Witches, man. It was great to see.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, Coach, last week you guys had that hard-fought victory, 2-point victory.
Yes.
This week it seems like your guys really set the tone.
Yeah, they came out here, had a good week of practice. Playing a team likes to throw the ball all over the place, and we got up early on them, which was great. Got us a chance to get some younger guys in the game, especially late in the game. overall, it was a good team week. I think the kids played well, and I think they had some fun tonight.
And you got some guys that are filling in for some of your injured players.
Yeah,
you like how they've been doing?
Yeah, they're maturing. They're maturing. They're getting it, and we're into week 7 next week, so it's a big week. We got a big game with Spellman, and those kids got some experience, and we got 2 key guys out between Ernie and Joel. It's tough, but they're grinding it out, and hoping to get one next week.
And you guys are also trying to get yourself in a good position for
yes.
play as well. How important are these games?
Yeah, these games are important because down the stretch we got 2 regular season games left, and we want to get the best possible seed as possible, and we got to get these next 2.
All right, Coach. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, my man.
Coach, you guys came out here. This was a gutsy win for you guys. You guys really shut down the ground attack. How were you able to slow them down on that?
I mean, they're a very good team on offense. They're huge up front, very physical. They have good backs. But our kids just played tough. Gang tackling. Just gotten it out for 48 minutes. And we needed every minute of that.
And then offensively, you made enough plays. You got is that a halfback pass or a receiver pass?
It was.
You got that big?
Yeah.
And then Sean on that one when they tied things up. Was that just you guys overcoming a little adversity when they tied the game up?
Yeah. So so we lost our quarterback offensively. In the second quarter there, so we were just trying to figure out a way to move the ball, be able to throw it a little bit. They're very good up front on defense as well, so running the ball was very tough for us. But, again, our kids just, played hard, played tough, and, overcame.
How proud are you right now? How proud are you of them right now?
I mean, I'm so proud of them. We've been in, pretty much every game we've played so far. And, we've been on the short end of all of them. For them to be able to come out here and put it all together today, it's just, it's a great feeling for them. I'm proud of them. I'm happy for them.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much.
All right, Coach, you guys have won in a whole lot of different fashions this season, and this one it was a defensive effort with an efficient offense. How proud of your guys the way they performed tonight?
Yeah, Greater Lowell Tech every year plays us tough, and it's always a battle. For a lot, I think we play them almost every year. We've been in the program. It's always a battle. We expected nothing less today. Their running back is just an absolute beast of the ball. We contained him pretty well. Only 7 points. Offensively, I thought we moved the ball well. We just had some miscues on some big plays, some penalties that really hurt us on scoring plays. So I think as a whole, I'm happy with the toughness and the resilience our guys showed, and we've been showing that every week. We just got to make sure we clean up those things, getting close to the playoffs, and we have to be able to clean those things up to play with the really great teams when we get to the end of the playoff run.
You definitely just said the playoffs is approaching. You guys have a short week. How mentally prepared do you feel for this part of the season, because you guys are really trying to position yourself to get the best seeding?
Yeah, and I think that's a good question. I think our guys have shown that they can fight through just about anything, and I think a short week is for us going to be something that we can handle, because we've handled a whole lot more over the course of the year between illnesses and injuries and penalties and things like that within the game. We've fought through all that stuff. So I think our guys will be focused. We certainly have focus. We just have to work on cleaning those things up. And I think Whittier poses a big challenge. They're a big, tough, double tight, double wing team, and I think they'll also have one loss. So it's going to be a battle. And over the last few weeks, we've battled. So we're certainly battle tested when it comes to that.
And lastly, Jose. I mean, he had himself quite the game. How much improvement has he had for you since you've seen him at the beginning of this season? Since you've seen him at camp to at this point of the season, how much has he improved, and for him to be producing for you guys like he did today?
Yeah, we told him all year that you're going to be a guy that has to make plays for us, because when teams start locking down on Mornell and paying extra attention to Jovan and to Chanel, he's the guy that's going to get loose, and that's what's happened. And he found pay dirt a couple times last week, and I think that really got him invested offensively. Now he's playing defense and making some great plays at cornerback. He had a great game overall. He's so shifty and slippery. For a guy his size, he's not very big, but he has some great vision, and he doesn't get tackled. He stays up, and you saw a couple times today, just slides through and makes plays happen. So if we can get him invested to keep doing that every week, and he's another weapon we have at our disposal, I think we're going to score some points.
All right, Coach, congratulations on the win.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Sean, you had that big touchdown because they have this
Touchdown felt really good. Those were my first 2 offensive snaps of the year. I saw the corner line up 5 yards off. I was telling my quarterback just throw me that fade, and it felt amazing because I just gave up that touchdown to tie the game, so it felt great.
That game-sealing interception, did you see?
I saw them crisscross. I saw that ball coming, and honestly, I thought my linebacker was going to jump in and pick it, but I'm like, I'm going to go get this ball.
What does it say about you guys the way you guys stopped their ground attack? The ground attack is really a focal part of their offense. You guys were able to shut that down. Defensively, how were you guys able to do that?
We just got a bunch of dogs on the team, you know. We had at the goal line, stopped them 4 times. That really sealed the game at halftime for us. You know.
Your coach said you guys been in a lot of close games and just was on the short end of it. How does it feel just to finally be on the right end of these games?
It feels great. You know, we've been winning at halftime so much. We've let so many games slipped away. To finally win one just feels amazing.
And you guys got the coach's his first win.
Yeah, we did.
How happy are you guys just?
We're psyched for him. You know, he stepped in last minute to coach us. Feels great for him.
Congratulations on the win.
All right, thank you.
Drove down the field, they took the lead, you guys made a big 4th down play. It's coming down to walk me through this last play over here on this corner.
I mean, I wasn't even supposed to be set up there, but I took the guy inside and he came in on me. He was playing man on me, so I just take him out. Me and my boy were both there, so either way it was a touchdown, me or him.
Can you just talk about what this win is for you guys? I mean, a lot of people question how good you guys are, but you guys came in here, put up 46 points.
Yep.
What did you guys make? What statement did you guys make today?
I mean, this is a huge statement. We haven't beat this team in about 20 years. They're a great team. That kid John Nasky, he's an animal. I mean, we've been playing with each other since like 3rd grade. So this chemistry's just been building up every season. And yeah, we're on a great start right now. 6-0, first time in a while. And yeah, it's only up from here.
Yeah, how does it feel like, the way this program was a couple years ago to now what it is now? You guys #1 right now in the division. Big road win. You guys are setting yourself for the playoff push. How excited are you guys for what's ahead?
I mean, this is the most excited I've ever been in a football season ever in my life. We used to play in youth, we were great, but this is crazy. We gotta do this for the coaches. The coaches been working us all year, and yeah, they deserve it. They deserve it. A couple years ago, they didn't win nothing. So the fact that we're winning right now for the coaches, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. We're taking it really serious.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
All right, fellas, you guys came in here, handled business, some big plays all around. What got you guys going today?
It was just we knew we had to make a statement. We knew the challenge we have next week, and we knew we just needed to get better. And we needed to get in the confidence we needed. We needed to be able to go strong next week, have no doubts. Just go play football, win.
Injuries, you guys got some injuries while you've been seeing time at running back. Just how's it been for you just getting that opportunity with some of the injuries you guys have?
I mean, we just have to work around it. We know that they're 2 of our biggest leaders, but we have other leaders. We have other seniors that they're good. They're here. But it's not going to deter us. We know we're down a couple. We know we need to step up.
For you, Rowan, how's it been? You guys had that big play last week to win the game. This one, you guys pretty much set the tone early. Just how's it been for you getting more time offensively too?
It's actually pretty. I like it. I mean, knowing that Joel and Ernie out, I have to step up in some parts. Like Joel was our starting linebacker. I had to step up in his spot, and we've been rolling. Hopefully, we get him back by the end of the. What is it? End of the year. End of the year.
First round playoffs.
Defensively, what's been working defensively? How have you guys been? How you feel like the defense has played the last couple of weeks, minus the Fenway game?
In my defense, I feel like the defense has been playing better than our offense.
Absolutely. Our defense, we're a good defense. I mean, once we stop you, once we know what you're doing, we got you. But all we need to do is just not give any light of hope. And we just need to stick on him, stay on him, foot to the throat, keep it going.
2 pick sixes. You got the 99-yard one. Walk me through that one. Walk me through that 99-yard one.
Well, as we call it, tip drill. But I gotta shout out my man Nick Marks for tipping that up for me. Caught it, and never ran fast in my life down the field.
He was zooming.
But I knew, but my heart was racing. I knew it just go.
All right, fellas, big one next week. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
All right. 5 victory for you guys. Defensively, you only held them to 7 points. Offense put up 18 good ones. What was working for you guys?
Really in practice, we just said it in the beginning of the week that we weren't going to be talking. We were just going to be doing what we had to do. And obviously, it showed. There was a lot of plays where we got called back for flags that shouldn't have been thrown. But what we did was we just came back after the flag and we did what we had to do.
Jose, for you, you had the interception. You had the interception, right?
Yeah.
And then you had that big stop on one of the plays. Defensively, what did you see out there for you to be effective?
To be honest, it was really just all on film. Everything they ran, it was just like muscle memory. I seen it on film. It was just, you feel me? Now I got to go out and just, you feel me? Just do what I got to do.
Yeah, it's been a while since you guys played at home. How good did it feel just to be back home and not being on the road? Because you guys been on the road for like the past 4 weeks.
Yeah, it felt good because now we can finally perform in front of like our crowd, Lynn. You feel me? So now, yeah, just being away just made it kind of.
Chanel, you had the touchdown. You also had a touchdown pass, a touchdown run, touchdown called back. It seemed like you had the team really going on offense. Was it just a case of you guys really locking in because you know you have a short week?
Yeah, I mean, we just had to do what we did. We knew what to do. What we did when we ran, my line blocked for me, my receivers blocked for me, and that touchdown, whoever it was too, I think it was Marnell, and Andrew too. They just caught the ball. They did what they practiced, and what they did in practice, and they showed on the field.
All right, let's get to your highlights. We got Lynn English versus Malden, Lowell Catholic versus Lynn Tech, Arlington Catholic, St. Mary's, Greater Lowell versus Kip, and the wildest game of last week is Lynn Classical in Salem. If you wasn't there, man, you missed a good one. So.
Yeah, I saw the highlights, man. That looked great.
Yo, check the highlights out. After that is the top 10, and then we coming back and we're giving our game picks and getting up out of here. It's time for the top 10 plays from week number 6 of the high school football season. At number 10, it is Amari from Lynn English. He blocks the punt. He picks it up. He runs it in for a Lynn English touchdown in their matchup against Malden. At number 9, it is Lynn Classical quarterback Brian Vaughn and wide receiver John Naskey connecting on a touchdown pass in their matchup against Salem. At number 8, once again, it's Lynn Classical quarterback Brian Vaughn Jr. This time he finds R.J. Fessler for a 73-yard Lynn Classical touchdown in a shootout with Salem. At number 7, it's St. Mary's quarterback Yanel Belliard who throws it up for Tyler Guy, who mosses the defender, and he gets into the end zone for a Spartans touchdown. Number 6, Lowell Catholic picked up their first win of the season, and this is one way they did it. Aiden Varela, who finds Sean Nerisson on the wide receiver pass. Nerisson is wide open, and he gets in the end zone. Lowell Catholic beats Tech. At number 5, Salem and Lynn Classical had themselves a shootout on Friday. Here's one of the big plays. This comes from running back Quinn Ryan, who takes the carry, makes one cut, and all he sees is daylight, and he gets it in for a Witches touchdown. At number 4, we're back to Salem and Lynn Classical, and on the very first play of the game, Javon Claiborne, he takes the carry, he hits the corner, and then he shows off the speed as he goes 80 yards for the Rams' first touchdown of the game. At number 3, the Spartans put up 45 points against Arlington Catholic. Here's one from the defense as Nick Marks picks off the pass. Marks, who's not a speedster, but he does show off the speed as no one catches him, and he brings it into the end zone for a Spartans touchdown. Number 2, we're back at St. Mary's versus Arlington Catholic, and this time it is Maxwell Parent who picks off the pass at the 1-yard line, and he just sees nothing but daylight. He gets one block, nobody in sight. He is off. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. Touchdown Spartans. And our number 1 play from week 6, it is Salem's Corey Grimes, who is under duress. He throws it up. There's 2 receivers in the area, but Albert Pujols comes down with the catch, keeps both feet in bounds, and Salem with that last-second touchdown defeats Lynn Classical 48-44. We back. We are back. Okay. Let's go. Oh, game picks. We gotta get out of here. Jaguars Saints. This is Thursday Night Football in New Orleans.
Jaguars.
Yeah, I like the Jaguars. Saints
they look good.
Yeah, Saints aren't looking too good. Bills and Patriots. Yeah.
Skip.
Yeah, man. Pets, but you know. Raiders Bears in Chicago.
Oh, that's ugly, but I'm gonna go. With Justin Fields out, I got to go with the Raiders.
Me too. I'm going to go with the Raiders because I have no idea who the Bears quarterback is going to be. Browns Colts, Anthony Richardson is going to be done for the season, shoulder injury. So Gardner Minshew is the quarterback.
I picked him up in fantasy.
Yeah, and I think P.J. Walker's starting again for the Browns.
I'm still going to go with the Colts.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Colts just because they're home.
Mm-hmm.
Commanders and Giants.
Commanders.
I'm with you on that, Commanders. Falcons and Buccaneers.
Where is it?
Tampa.
Bucks.
I'm going to go with the Falcons. Lions, Ravens in Baltimore.
Ravens.
I'm going to go with the Lions. As much as I want to pick the Ravens, I'm going to go with the Lions.
It's in Baltimore. That's the only reason.
Steelers, Rams in Inglewood.
It's another one. It's a weird week in the league. I'm going to go with the Rams.
Going with the Rams, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Steelers. Actually, I'm gonna go with the Steelers.
Cooper's back. That's why I'm going with the Rams.
Gotcha. Cardinals, Seahawks.
In Seattle.
Yep.
Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle. They
looking all right too.
Packers, Broncos in Denver.
Packers.
Chiefs, Chargers in Kansas City.
Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going to Chiefs. The Chargers, they're a weird team. Game of the week, Dolphins, Eagles in Philly.
What's that, Sunday night?
Yep.
Ooh, in Philly?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with Miami.
Miami?
I'm going with Miami. I think they're just too explosive.
I'm going to go with Miami too, man. Philly
You know,
yeah.
There's something off.
Yeah.
There's some. I just can't put my finger on it.
They're still a good team. They're
they're good, but
missing.
there's something missing.
There's something missing in the ingredients.
If you notice, like even the Patriots almost beat them.
Yeah. And then Monday Night Football to close out this week's slate of games: 49ers versus the Vikings in Minnesota.
It depends, but I'm gonna go with 49ers.
No Justin Jefferson. I'm going with 49ers.
Yeah. If McCaffrey's there to lock.
He's supposed. They said he'll likely. He might.
Yeah, it's a lock.
Yeah, it's because the injury wasn't serious.
And I don't like going against the Vikings because my boy Lou, man.
Lou is signed.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it for us. We are out of here. Make sure you check us out. LCTV After the Whistle, Instagram, Spell God, Instagram. Mr. Burton 23 on Instagram. He's Mr.
T-Bounce.
Mukala K on Instagram, LinTV.org. All that good stuff. Check us out, and if you watch on YouTube, leave the comments. Leave a comment on the page. Oh yeah, if you want to watch the full show, go to YouTube and watch the full show. You won't get it on TV. You get an hour, but watch the full show on YouTube. So we're out of here. Have a good one.